Mila's poem, take one.
Before my stomach, voice, and laugh, my tear ducts were the first small parts of me I learned to hate. Sensitive was my prerequisite to be a gifted child, as my admission into private school stated, the first validation I experienced. I used to stretch my eyes before dusty mirrors, wishing I could rip the tear ducts out, always the cause of scream match fights for crying over things that don't matter, like the fear of being alone, of not being heard, of not understanding why sometimes I couldn't breathe, and always feeling there was something wrong with me. I was taught that sensitivity is mandatory when you are gifted or artistic. I am prone to cry over all the wrong things. The first time I understand the word trigger, I am lonely in a health class, my first morning class after being hospitalized for the 6 of 10 attempts. We are watching My Strange Addiction. A woman self-harms, uncensored. The teacher does not understand why I must leave the room. I am prone to cry over all the wrong things. I am sweating in Atlanta as poets personify a rape kit, yelling over and over lines that begin to blur sweet sweat and bitter tears for memories I am not yet ready to call rape. I am prone to cry over all the wrong things, prone to call the sweat tears. I exhale the worst oceans. My father apologizes more often these days for telling me never to cry when I was younger, as if the damage is not already done. Like the apologies soothe the opening scars of my under eyelids, change the climate when he jokes, I'm just pretending to like girls. When he asks me why I'm so concerned with labeling things as unimportant as my identity. I understand I am still crying over all the wrong things, and when you are cis, white, straight, able, and male, your identity gets to be bigger than that, so unimportant to claim when you are the loudest body in the room, the safest, coziest American whose history is proud enough to be all-encompassing silent, no need to prove itself when it lies bare and heaves with every rush of breath. Identity does not have to claw itself out from inside you, beg you to hold it, ask you to please love it for once and let it breathe for a while. Identity does not have to ask you the respect of giving it a name. Identity does not have to ask you to stop calling it other things when you're at home, at school, at work, with old friends, with partners, and when you're in public. Sensitive was an identity drenched into my pores to pacify the heaving gulf of my chest. I'm not sensitive, I'm fucking healing. When a kid in class says the racist kind of thing I can't let slip this time, I'm not crying. My name is Ayla Sullivan, and I go to the University of Colorado at Boulder. I am a BFA performance major and a business management major. I do slam poetry because it's my favorite thing to do, and I've been doing it since I was about 13, and I kind of do a lot of performance art. I'm really focused on performance art, whether it's through theater, through slam, music. I like dancing too.
I didn't say
My name is Seth Stiefel, and I'm a swing dance instructor. I teach a lot of different types of swing dance, from Lindy Hop to East Coast swing to Balboa, collegiate shag, all sorts of dances here. And I've been working here at the Mercury Cafe for 8 years, and dancing probably 18. So coming to the Merc all those years. My very first swing dance lesson that I ever took was here at the Mercury Cafe, and I was in school at the time back in Chicago, And so in Chicago, I had some friends. They wanted to visit Colorado, essentially for the slopes, right? They wanted to do some snowboarding. So they came out to snowboard, and then we had a free evening, and they found in the newspaper free swing dance lessons. And so they're like, let's check it out. So I came with them, and they ended up not liking it, but I loved it, and I did it, forever from that point on. I feel like there are a lot of different reasons that you can be attracted to the dance. One of the reasons that I was attracted to it was just seeing the energy of a room full of people just dancing, and it was like organized chaos, and I just wanted to be a part of that. And so the journey for me was just starting to take some classes, and then you go out to dances, and you can't sleep at night because you're thinking about the dances and everything that just happened, and you're trying to kind of make that better. And when I came back from Chicago, because I was dancing the entire time I was in school, I came back and started dancing here at the Merc Cafe all the time. And there was a couple named Dan and Tiffany, and they were doing swing dance lessons here. But then they also started up a team called 23 Skidoo. And so they invited me on the team, and and just one thing led to another. It was a competitive, but also performance dance team, and they were really, really driven just to be the best that they could be, and to kind of travel across the country and enter competitions. And so I was a part of that crew, and that kind of really pushed me forward too, just kind of the momentum that they had. And so after that, because you find out that nothing really lasts forever, right? And so Skidoo went through a bunch of iterations, and eventually at a certain point, I ended up coaching that team and then teaching here. And so if you had told me, like 18 years ago, when I was here for the very first time, that someday you'll be teaching here and you'll be that connected to this community, I wouldn't have believed it.